You can't see grace for what it is until you need it most. You don't know what you really have.
Philippians chapter 2 verse 13, for it is God who works in us both to will and to do for his good pleasure. You see, this one verse summarizes divine demand and supply. The will, which is the desire, comes from him. And then the doing, which is the discipline and the action, is also empowered by him, but carried out by us. Now, in the economy of God, demand and supply doesn't function the same way that the world understands them. In the world, demand drives supply, but in the kingdom, supply precedes demand. God never asks you for what he hasn't first given to you. Every demand of God on man is rooted in his prior supply. So God never demands from empty vessels. He fills before he requires. God supplies desire, for example. We must respond with discipline. When you feel a pull to pray, to fast, to give, or to serve, it did not begin with you. That pull is heaven's supply of desire. Your role is to respond with discipline. God supplies the desire to pray. You respond by praying. God stirs the hunger to study his word. You respond by opening the scriptures. So the discipline you practice is only possible because of the desire that he plants. And every holy hunger is heaven's signal that supply has arrived. Take for example Genesis chapter 22, Abraham. God demanded Isaac, but he had already supplied the lamb. You see, the demand was sacrifice. The supply was substitution. Look at Moses in Exodus chapter 4. God demanded that he spoke to Pharaoh, but he supplied the rod and Aaron. In 1 Samuel chapter 17, David, God demanded a warrior, but supplied a shepherd boy with a sling and a stone. Look at John chapter 6, Jesus' disciples. The demand was to feed the multitude. The supply was a boy's lunch multiplied. In Romans chapter 8 verse 26, the Holy Spirit. God demands prayer of us, so he supplies to us the intercession through the Holy Spirit. So he supplies to us intercession through the Holy Spirit. So every divine demand is a disguised delivery of supply. Because if God asks for Isaac, look around. There's already a ram caught in the thicket. Friends, we must learn how to respond as God's partners. We are not originators. We're not initiators. We're responders. God initiates, we cooperate. He provides the raw material, and then we shape it into obedience. God supplies the song, we supply the voice. God supplies the fire, we supply the altar. So the kingdom advances not by human initiative, but by divine supply met with human response. And that's why we need to look at this and how it works in our daily life. That when God demands holiness, he has already supplied grace. That when God demands fruit, he has already supplied the vine, which is Jesus Christ. And when God demands perseverance of you, he has already supplied the spirit of endurance. God only demands what he has already deposited. And every command of God is a prophecy of his supply. So check your life today, friends. What is God demanding from you? More prayer, more consecration, greater obedience? Don't panic. That's a proof that he has already supplied the raw material. And your hunger is not an accident. It's heaven's delivery notice. Have a blessed day, friends.